Welcome everyone here to this beautiful JOA Summit. I am the host. I am Keira Brinton. I am the publisher, and I'm also a book writing coach. So I was so lucky and honored to spend time with Izumi in the writing of her book, and even luckier that we get to be the publishers that bring her book to the world. So today is all about Izumi Favia and her beautiful new book, Writing to Heal. After the Unbearable Loss of a Child, this book is so tender and so powerful. And I just honor you, Izumi, for being the author who wrote this book. So welcome. Welcome to this summit. Izumi, I would love to open up the space for you to talk a little bit about what first inspired you to write this book.
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you so much for having me, and then thank you everyone for coming and joining me for this summit. So I started journaling after my daughter passed away, and I was just writing to just to get my thoughts out, emotions out, and sometimes I was talking to her in the way of writing instead of just talking in my head, so that I could just put it on my paper and on my paper journal, um, and hoping it'll get to somewhere.
Yeah.
And I think it was like 8 or more than 8 months. And I met Keira, and her magic or her light inspired me. And I heard something along the line of I could write to heal. And I was already writing a journal every day. So I'm like, why not? That inspired me to start writing and working with Keira to write a book. And it first thought it was inspiring to write, but then it started getting harder because I was writing down all the raw emotions. And at one point, I'm like, why am I writing this? Like, why am I going through this pain? But I'm glad I did it because I was able to write the first, like, really raw pain. And then as I was editing that part of it, I'm like, I'm different place because I've done all those work.
Yes. Yes.
So I was able to incorporate all those tools that I learned along my journey, and this became a book, a journal, and a conversation with me, more like.
Mm, I love that. I love that. I'm so happy that you followed the inspiration and that you kept going even in the uncomfortable parts, because it is very uncomfortable to write a book, specifically when it's on grief, because it's impossible to write about grief and not feel the grief. And so you are just such a strong woman that you were able to bring this all the way through, because I know it was heavy and it was intense. And writing a book heals us. Would you say that writing this book was a huge part of your healing?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It makes us go into the corners and the crevices inside of ourselves that we don't really want to go to. And that's why it makes such a difference. So this book, there are parents who need this book. And what I really want to say about a book like this is that when someone loses a child, most of the time we don't know what to say. We don't know what to do. We can't even comprehend what am I supposed to do or say. And that's why you writing this book will be one of the greatest gifts ever. Because if we could all have a handful of these at our house, and if someone that we love goes through such unbearable loss, you won't be without words. You'll be able to hand this book to them and let Izumi's words help them heal. So this book is going to be here forever. Will be something that many people will read. How has it felt for you now that it's been out for a few months? How has it felt for you?
And this is like writing this book has been a big part of my healing journey. And I have to be honest, I felt some sort of closure of one chapter of my grief.
Yeah.
And then I'm hitting to a different part of it. And going back and reading this book again, it's like, oh yeah, this doesn't end. But I have tools. I have tools. So my hope is this book will touch other parents at any part of their journey of grief, their grief, or anyone who's going through their losses.
Yeah. What would you say? What would you say to those who are grieving right now? What would your message to them be?
I want to say this is not an easy journey, but what kept me going is the best way out is always through. That's by Robert Frost. I put it in this book too. But this quote is not specifically for grief, but I believe that is true.
Yeah.
So I want those bereaved parents or anyone going through their losses to be open to receive the support that if whatever form that they need, it could be support group. It could be friends or family who want to support them. It could be therapy. Any forms that they're called to receive. I want them to be open. And I'm saying this, and I know it's not easy sometimes, but I want to remind them that there's always someone who wants to help them, support them. Yeah.
It's beautiful. I want to talk about why you published your book on the day that you published it. Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, that's Alice's anniversary, and that was her second anniversary. Yeah, of the day she passed away. And it was very meaningful that I was able to publish this book. Yeah.
That was a beautiful way to honor her and honor her life. And I feel like there's so much of her energy in this book, including this ladybug. Can you talk to us about why you put a ladybug on the front cover?
Yeah. So on the day she passed away, we were driving back home from a local hospice, and I found a ladybug in the car as I was driving home, as if she was coming home with us. And after a couple days after, we found, I don't know if it was the same ladybug, we found a ladybug inside of the house too. And that helped me to see different signs or messages that I was getting, including that thought of I could write to heal. I'm sure that was from her.
I love that. I love that. Is there any questions from anyone who's here or anything that you want to share, how this book inspired you or touched your heart or anything that you want to share to Izumi? I would love to just open it up for a little bit here and let anyone who wants to have the space to do that. If you do, just hit unmute so we can hear you. I know it's like a little nerve-wracking sometimes.
Hi, this is Tiffany. I'll go ahead and share. So Angela McKay, who's on the call, introduced the book to myself. Next Tuesday will be 2 years that I lost my 18-year-old son. So I purchased the book, I think, back in December, and it sat here. And I had a day that it's like I needed something. And so I opened up the book, and everything that I felt, it was in writing. I could see things that I felt. I didn't know if it was normal, if it was, but you had taken it from your mind and put it in paper. So to see that, thank you.
Tiffany, thank you for sharing.
Yeah, Tiffany, thank you for sharing. I know it's not easy. So thank you.
Thank
This means
you.
so much.
Thank you.
This is the power of writing books. You know, we all experience loss at some point. Maybe not this intense of loss, but loss is there. And one thing is that loss always makes you feel alone. You just feel so alone in it. And I think that I just honor you, Izumi, for going through the intensity of writing this book, because this will help people not feel alone. And that is so healing, to not feel alone. So Tiffany, I'm so grateful that you shared that. Anyone else want to share anything or have questions that you want to ask Izumi? Yeah. Well, can you unmute? I don't know your name. Katie, yes? Am I saying your name right? There we go.
Hi, it's Jane from the Connecticut Cancer Foundation. Hi, Izumi.
Hi, Jane. Thank you so much for
I
coming.
just want to say, having met Izumi a few years ago, very soon after she lost her daughter, and she has been a pillar of strength, in my opinion. I think it was a week, Izumi, after you lost your daughter, that you signed on to our No Shave CT fundraiser, and as a way of wanting to honor your daughter. And I was just so amazed that you found the strength to do that, and as a way, and I know you wanted to help other children out there that were struggling not only with these horrible diseases, but to also think about their parents and those that didn't have financial wherewithal to cover their rents or their mortgage or their food or things like that. And you found the strength within you to want to join our effort to help these other families, which I don't know that and I've been doing this for 36 years, and I don't know if I've ever witnessed such strength and courage of someone to do such a thing. And she's been part of the Connecticut Cancer Foundation, supporting us, and whenever I need her, she's always there. And you've just been a pillar of strength and courage, and now to come out with this beautiful book as another means of helping others. As you know, I just had my own loss a couple of years ago with my husband, but I can't imagine a child. I think to myself, with John, this is a cycle of life. He had a very full, amazing life. And so when you think of the cycle of life, you don't think of losing a child, for sure. And I am just so honored to call you my friend and to support you however we can continue to support you and others. And thank you for supporting the Connecticut Cancer Foundation and all that we do here. And I know it'll be a great gift, this book, to others who need the healing.
Jane. Yeah, so Jane and her husband, John, started the Connecticut Cancer Foundation, and they've been supporting different types of cancer patients and their family that they're in financial difficulties, or she was on the phone with me for like an hour when I first introduced to your organization. She was patiently listening to my story, my daughter's Alice's story, and they do such a wonderful, important work for people who need, and supporting their organization has been also being a big part of my healing journey as well. That it's been really giving me a courage, inspiration to keep going. So thank you, Jane.
My pleasure. And thank you for all you've done for the foundation. And you've done a lot. So thank you.
Hi, I'm Marisol, and I went through this journey with Izumi and Alice. I just thought about the ladybug, and one of the things that came to mind was that Alice would love to go to the healing garden and picked up the blueberries, and that was something that was a lot of fun for her while she was here. And Izumi, I just want to say thank you, because this book can say so much and can be so healing for our parents. For me and Keira, as a social workers, we have this experience in working with parents and experience these losses. And as you had said before, there's no words sometimes that you can say to comfort. But I have a book of somebody else that have an experience like that can share and that can help my other families, to heal. So thank you, and thank you for allowing me to be part of this journey. It has been an honor to meet you and to meet Alice, and we all still remember Alice here. Mm-hmm. And I love the book, and hopefully we will get some of the books here in our clinics, mm-hmm. in both of our clinics, that we can share with our families.
Yeah. So Marisol has been a part of it. Yeah, a part of my journey as well. She introduced me to Jane, the Connecticut Cancer Foundation, and that little, I wrote it in the book too, little gem, a little golden thread that I followed through, led me to where I'm at. And I put it in the book form as well.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah, and Izumi, I just wanted to also echo the sentiments of Marisol that, I know I had the pleasure of meeting Alice and your family a few times as you were coming to the hospital for her treatment. And I just always remember her spirit and her energy. She was vibrant and beautiful inside and out. And I think that you're carrying her spirit of all of that every day. And this book is just, it's incredible that you've had the strength to write this book and your heart to continue to support others going through this is really beautiful. And I think just another way to continue honoring your daughter So thank you so much for sharing this with us and having that strength, which is just absolutely amazing. And Marisol and I support you and your family 100%. And we wanted to be here for you today too. So thank you so much for letting us be a part of your life and your story.
And thank you for supporting the Connecticut Cancer Foundation, who is an amazing and generous foundation that have helped so many of our families.
Yeah.
Incredibly grateful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
My gosh, you guys, my heart, if I ever wondered if publishing was what I wanted to do in life, like this session right here is like, this is it. Like, this is it, you guys. I'm just like so honored that you guys came to support Izumi. And Izumi, I'm so proud of you, Izumi. You didn't write this book 10 years after the loss of your daughter. You wrote this book really recently after she passed. And I remember just watching you like, this is so raw and so fresh. And you did it. And so I just hope you can feel like, oh, you did this, and this is going to go out and it's going to change people's lives. As we're closing up, I would love for you to just pick up your book. This is my favorite game. I always play with my authors. They say Wheel of Fortune, and you land on whatever. I'm going to tell you what I landed on, but then I want you. So you pick it first, and I want you to land on a spot, and you're going to share about it. Then I'm going to have you talk about what I landed on. Okay.
All right.
So ready, set, stop. Wherever you land.
Oh. I landed on the page 43. How my curiosity is helping me.
Talk about that.
So one thing is kids are always curious. They ask so many different questions. That has been, the asking questions has been an important part of this journey. Like every day I ask different questions. Sometimes I get straightforward answers. Sometimes I don't hear anything. Or sometimes I hear answers, like delayed answers. It comes in different time, weeks, days later. But if one question doesn't give me an answer, I could tweak it, get curious, and then tweak the question and ask another one. So
That's beautiful.
I ask a lot of different questions in this book. I think that's a big part of my current part of journey too.
I love the questions that you have in this chapter. Journal prompts. What does my child want me to know? What do they want to share with me? Where can I find them if I want a physical reminder? Where are they now? How are they doing? I wonder what their mission was this time. How can I stay connected with them? What can I do to tell them how much I love them? Powerful questions that will help so many parents. So I love that. I love that chapter. And I love that the chapter I landed on is page 32. So you want to turn to it. The message card. And I'd love for you to share about that.
So she was receiving monthly subscription from Japan, and she was at the point practice writing Japanese letters. So because it was a Halloween issue, there was a little Halloween theme card where she could trace Japanese letters. And I think a couple weeks or a month before she passed away, she just wanted to try this card. She traced it and I put it away somewhere. And then a few months after she passed away, her surviving sister, found it in her room. And I opened it. It says, "Thank you" in Japanese, as if it was a message from her.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah. So that was what I thought was a message from her at the time that I needed to hear.
and I love that you give them ideas, like start seeking your child, right? Like start seeking how they're responding to you. And I loved this when you and I were working on your book. I remember you talking about how there were like tokens that you would see or feel or notice, and you knew that Alice was with you. And so I just love that you help parents find that in here. So I really, really love those pieces. And I want to just read what's in the chat. Myra, I want to read what you say. I'm feeling too upset to talk at the moment, but I really wanted to share how much I love this book. It felt like Izumi's love was reaching out to all of the grieving parents. Her love for Alice seemed to multiply, extending to all who have experienced similar grief. Oh, Myra, thank you for writing that.
Yeah.
How does that feel to read that, Izumi? Does it make you so grateful that you pushed through and that you brought it to earth?
Yes. Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, everyone here, I want you to go into the chat because the very first part is Izumi put a link here. She created a meditation. I'd love everyone to grab that meditation and not only use it, but share it. Share it with those who you know need it. And if you have a problem finding it, let me know, but it should be just that first link in the chat. And anyone who's watching this YouTube video, as this will go on, please go grab this book. And these are one of the books where I say you need to have 10. You need to have 10 on hand because you never know when someone you love is going to go through loss. And to be able to give that would be the greatest gift. Yes, I will repost the meditation link. Let me grab it really fast for you guys.
Yeah. Well, I can send you guys through email as well, or anyone. Yeah.
Here we go. Okay, I'm going to post it right here. So if everyone wants to grab that, and Izumi said she will send this out via email. So Izumi, as we close today, first of all, I want to thank everyone who shared. Your comments have been so massively impactful. And I know it's a lonely world to be an author because you don't know if your words find their way into people's ears or into their hearts, right? You don't know. And so these summits, the reason why we hold these summits really is so that the author really understands that people are reading their books. It's the best gift. And there's one other gift that you can give authors that would change everything is to go to Amazon and leave them a review. It takes 5 minutes and it'll be the fastest way for you to give her a gift because the more reviews she has, the more Amazon will promote her book, which means more people will have access to this book. So that's, as a publisher, I say, go love on her, give her a review. But thank you guys for being with us. And Izumi, I would love for you, if you want to just leave us with a message from your heart today, what would that message be?
Want to say thank you for being here, whether this is the first time meeting me or you're being part of my journey for years. Thank you. Whatever I receive, I can give up back to you or anyone who needs it. So thank you for being a part of my life. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Izumi, for writing this book. Thank you for having the strength, the courage, the boldness and the light within you to bring this book to the world. And everyone here, thank you for your light and all that you do in the world, and for spending time with us today. It was my deepest honor to hold this space for this. So with that, I hope you have the most beautiful Monday, and be well. Bye,
Thank you
guys.
so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.